Um, I'm sharing my screen. You see that?
Mhm.
Okay, so this is where it takes you if you type in Utah or utravel.utah.edu. It should just take you to a login page, which you just log in with your CIS login, and then you should end up here. So this is the Concur you travel Concur website. So this is where you can find your requests, your expenses, etc. So just to make a request, you're going to go to request, and then you can see all of the ones I've got going on right now, and then hit new request. And then I think Dr. Powell might have told you this, but you have to make the request at least one day before you leave. Otherwise, it causes issues with the approval process. So just one day before you leave, which it should be easy enough, just as long as you remember. But then you just fill out your trip information. Oh yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so if you're, one of the things we'll be using it for in this assessment is for travel lodgings. Would that be, you need to request it one day before you reserve the hotel?
I think it's just one day before you travel. I don't think it actually matters when you make the expenses. It's just when you're actually traveling. So whenever your start business date is. So when is the assessment? Is it 18th next week?
The 20th.
The 20th. So
It's the 21st.
So you're staying overnight the 20th to the 21st?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So you'll just fill in Blanding IC assessment, then request trip business start date is whenever you're leaving, and then whenever you're getting back. Most of these will just be one day, so it'll be same start and end day, but for you it's different. And then you'll type in Blanding, Utah. It should come up. And then for trip type, it's just in-state travel unless you're going out of state, like when they went to Nevada, and then research field work for trip purpose. And then this is the one portion where for you could potentially use this, but I would just recommend booking your own hotel and then reimbursing it. So then you would just say, I will book outside of the Concur booking tool. I've actually never tried using their like advisors or whatever. I don't know. Did Dr. Powell say anything about that?
Yeah, but he basically said what you said, just it's probably easier to just book yourself.
Yeah, I think they'll like want to ask you a bunch of questions and stuff, and it's yeah, I think it'll be easier if you just do it yourself. You don't have to fill out any of this information. You could put additional trip purpose or comments if you had like couldn't fit. This is limited, so if you couldn't fit the I guess this is hospital, huh? So Blanding hospital, whatever name you wanted in here. Then the next part is this activity code. So this will change depending on whether you're going on an ISC or a Dominion assessment. So let's see if I have it in here. Oh, okay. Get it to you. But for the purposes of our conversation, I think there's this just general chemical engineering one that you can do that just like goes to the department as a whole. So you can do that just for the meantime, and then you'll have to enter the specific project number for the IAC later. But that's not a problem for the request. So I think that should be okay. So it's this 05420. And then once you get that, it should self-fill everything else. Did that work?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, cool. And then And then once you do that, then you move on to either the segments, which this is what you'll do since you're staying overnight somewhere. So this is the lodging. So here you'll put in your hotel information, and if you haven't made your reservation yet, that's fine. You can just put in your estimated or check in and check out and amount. So the thing about the request is it's all this is just like the prediction of what you're going to expense, and then you have to go back after the trip and actually expense it. So it's kind of annoying, but it's a two-step process. So that's your hotel. And then the car rental, if you're getting a university vehicle, you don't have to worry about this. That's separate. If you're driving a personal car, then you would go to this expenses tab and select personal mileage and put the date of your assessment and then how far you'll drive. And then that will automatically calculate the estimated amount. So are you getting a university vehicle?
Yeah, we're using a university vehicle.
Okay, so
But this is good to know for the future.
Yeah, exactly. So the other thing that I've used this for, so I don't know why, but it only has these two options for expense types, even though when you actually go to expense it, there's way more options. So when I've been like reimbursing meals and stuff, I've just been using that to as like a placeholder for some amount. So if you have some other fee that you're trying to get reimbursed that you don't see listed, then you could use that. So this just tells you who's got to approve it, but it's, yeah, you don't have to do anything with that. And then that's it. So once you've entered the segments and the expenses, then you hit submit request, which I will not actually do for this one. And then I believe it should be automatically approved if you do it one day ahead of time. But you might have to tell me if that's the case for students too.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, and then after the assessment, then we have to come back and look at some more stuff, or?
Yeah, so after the assessment, so we can use these ones as an example. So these are my requests that have already been approved. So you can see status approved. And then you come over here to this little expense button. So you'll hit expense. And then it will take you to an expense report, and it should just automatically fill out all this information that you had before. And then you'll just click the thing that you're expensing, which is that report, and then hit next. And it'll pop up with this, does this expense report include per diem expenses? And students should never have per diem expenses, so you'll just say no. And then this is all your actual options of things you can hit. So for you, you'll put in your hotel, all of this information. When we have the correct IAC number, you'll put in that here, and you'll attach a picture of your receipt from the hotel, and yeah, enter the amount you expended, and then you do have to do this allocation portion. Oh god, it's gonna work. Yeah. Amount $150. And it's out of pocket payment. That's the only option. And so for the comment, you can just say stayed in hotel overnight for assessment. And then when you allocate it, there it is. Okay, it'll just come up with this, and you need to make sure this number is that IAC. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay, write down this number. So it's this 55801-066. And once you enter that, all the rest of the numbers should come up correctly. So then I clicked that, it automatically populated the rest of them. 100% of the expenses are going to that, and then you hit save. Okay, and then you should be able to see, oh, itemization is required. Okay, so let's see, what does that mean? Oh, so if you were staying more than one night, you would do this like charges per night. Since you're just staying one night, you'll just enter your total charges basically. So it does want you to itemize it for the hotel. So, and then once you have entered all of that, then there should be like a little green guy over here that shows it's correct. And save all of that. We'll just cancel all of this. And then if you were doing, you're not doing any meals, right? Is Dr. Powell covering that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so you don't need to worry about the meals part. If you were gonna do personal car mileage for future things, then you would put your date, where you're starting, so I'll just say university, how many miles it was, and the distance is just based on Google, or actually the easiest thing to do is just do this mileage calculator. Make it a round trip. And then I believe you are supposed to subtract your commute from it. So if your commute is longer than the distance from the university to the site, then you can't reimburse. I believe that is. So you just click this. So then this one is yeah, a total of 600 miles minus my commute to work. The personal is if you like did anything on the side for personal reasons and not IC, but you shouldn't have to worry about that. And then you just hit add mileage, and then yeah, so this one, did it automatically calculate it? Yeah, so it automatically 600 miles to $364. And then you would still allocate it the same way and then save it. For personal mileage, you don't have to attach any receipts or anything. So, and I think those are the two things that you would use this for. Is there anything else?
I think that's all we'll be needing this time. And honestly, all we'll be needing is the hotel, since we're reserving a vehicle. But yeah.
Cool.
I do have one question. I probably should have asked this before, but when I go to the utravel.utah.edu, right? That's the right website.
Yep.
I get, instead of getting what you had, where is the option for me to, let me share my screen really quick. Instead, I get this for the screen.
Okay. I think that's happened to me before, and when that has happened, it means one of two things. Either you're not registered in the U system. Do you know if that's the case or not? Did you ever submit?
I don't know. I know I've probably never done it.
Okay.
So unless it happens automatically, then I don't think I've done it.
Okay. They do have to like take your name and ID down to set it up on their side. So potentially that's what needs to happen. I know last semester we like submitted a list of students for that, and I don't remember if we only did students who requested or we just did everyone. So I'll have to double check that. But the other thing that I've done just to make sure that I'm going to the right place is going to the travel department's website, which is always weirdly hard to find. I don't know why. Travel and reimbursement services service. Okay, so yeah, it's this website. So it's this fbs.admin.utah.edu/travel/ and they have the link here. So if you click that, and it'll take you there, log into Concur. So you had to click 2 buttons there. Then it should take you to that sign-in page. And if it's taking you back to that same page you were going to with the uTravel address, then I think we need to get you an account with them.
Sounds good.
Cool. Do you want to try that real quick so we can, Allison?
Yeah, let me try that. Do you want me to keep recording or?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah. Okay.